There are so many ways to kill a bird, but when it comes to the publishing industry, we have only two ways, only two major paths in which a book can be published. I know you can publish your own book by yourself. Others can publish your book for you. You can also hire someone to write and publish a book in your own name, and that is in the case of ghost writing. And in that case, all you need is a financial capacity to just get it done. But in whatever case it may be, we have only two major paths in which a book can be published. In other words, every single book that you see out there in the world came from one of these two paths. These two parts are what I'm going to discuss in this video. But before I continue, I have to also admit that there are also so many other dubious means in which a book can be published, like we have in the case of the vanity publishing and the hybrid publishing. But at the end of the day, it's either you did it yourself or someone did it for you, and which you have to pay the price later. Without either of these, it's never gonna get done at all. And it doesn't matter what kind of book or type of book or who wrote it and how they wrote it. Every single book that you're going to see in the world out there today followed directly or indirectly to be published from these two paths. And one of these two major ways you can get your book published is number one, traditional publishing. This is the method of publishing which involves the process by which an author will submit his book to a middleman known as the literary agent, who will represent the author in getting his book published by a traditional publisher. In traditional publishing, the literary agent is the gatekeeper, because most traditional publishing companies are most likely not to pay attention to a manuscript unless it comes from a literary agent. And it doesn't even matter even if that manuscript is the best manuscript in the entire world. This method of publishing requires some great amount of patience from your side as an author, because you did not have much control over the whole process, including how and when your book is going to be published. Following this part, in most cases, you have to first of all find a literary agent who will help your manuscript to be accepted by a traditional publisher. The work of the literary agent is to help you to negotiate better publishing deals with the traditional publisher. Under this part, it is very important to understand and to note that it is not all the traditional companies really make use of the literary agents, because there are so many other independent traditional companies that prefer to work directly with the author even without the literary agents. Secondly, self-publishing. In other words, what this means is that you are all out taking all the responsibilities of editing, producing, and marketing of your book by your own self. In this case, you have the right to determine what form your book would be. And it is very wise to hire these self-publishing companies to birth your dreams. And it's very wise to hire these publishing companies because they are mostly professionals and they have access to the right tools and the best professionals that will handle the different aspects of your book production for excellent results. And in most cases, for the fact that most budding authors, upcoming authors, do not really know what they really want in the publishing landscape, in the book publishing business, these self-publishing companies are always there to offer consultations, advice, professional guidance to these budding authors so that they can be able to succeed in the publishing landscapes. But one of the major problems with most, quote-unquote, most self-publishing companies, this is just for the sake of not generalizing, is because as long as making book is concerned, self-publishing companies are ready to do whatever service you require of them to do, except the marketing and the selling of the books they have already published. That has always been like a hard nut for them to crack, even in today's world. So whenever a budding author publishes his or her book, he's left in this middle ocean of not knowing what to do in the terms of marketing and selling of his book, because it's like almost like nobody is coming to save you. And that is just the reality when it comes to self-publishing. And it's very important that you understand this. For the sake of this deficiency and gap in the self-publishing authors are faced with great challenges which do not allow them to enjoy greater and wider distribution, just like their other counterparts, the traditional published authors. Finally, the self-publishing is a very helpful way to help authors to find expression and to exercise control in their own works. It is a thriving aspect of the publishing industry that is fast rising and almost seem indispensable in today's world. Because here's the thing, even most traditional publishers that I know have finally found ways to figure out how they can incorporate self-publishing in their company by creating imprints and departments in their organizations that offers authors the opportunities to exercise full control over their own works. This strategy is very vital in every publishing house because it helps the company to always remain profitable. However, in conclusion, if you are still sticking around with me to this stage, I hope you've been able to understand that the self-publishing and the traditional publishing broadly are the only two paths in which books can be published into this world, into any market. Thank you so much for sticking around with me and still watching to this end. I really appreciate your time and your effort. Please make sure to subscribe and to click the like button and turn on the notification so that whenever we post a new video, you can be able to get it. And for now, I have to say bye-bye and I'll catch you up in the next video.